here. Wrapping up from my 9 to 5, and I'm heading home. Uh, you know, I was writing today in my journal that I hadn't written in my journal in a couple of weeks, believe it or not. You know, and I realized when I don't do that, kind of the focus begins to fade, and I was reminded by somebody that in a long journey, you still have to pay attention to every step, right? So when you're on a journey in your life and you're trying to create the life that you want, every step matters. Every day matters, man. We got so much going on out here these days. You guys are watching uh, the whole election results unfold, the candidates, Trump and Harris, and it doesn't matter whose side you're on. It's still uh, crazy from whatever perspective you are viewing it from, right? So if you're viewing it from as a fan of Trump, then everything that he says will hold as true to you, and you won't go about trying to fact check him or anything like that because you have a bias, right? And same goes true for Harris. You know, it's just that probably Trump is more explosive in the things that he does and the things he says. So it attracts a totally different type of person, right? So, but I tell you what, he drew the line in the sand a long time ago. So, being a person of color, I can't back him. I can't back him because I know that come crunch time, him and his following will never back me. So, but I didn't hop on here to talk politics. These are some of the things that are going on in life, man. Right now you got all of the P Diddy and the whole rap industry in Hollywood in a tizzy, right? For their outlandish lives being exposed, how they lived, and how they forced people into servitude, basically sexual servitude, which is totally and completely not cool. And so you got that going on, and I just think that all of that stuff that goes on is a distraction from life, right? A distraction from life, distraction from what you have to do. I realized that after 10 months of cybersecurity class twice a week, every single week, that now the class is over, I have to implement my own level of discipline to keep at it and keep going and keep growing, right? I don't have a professor, and I don't have a schedule, and I don't have the financial burden that I'm paying for to inspire me to keep going, right? Some of those things are incentives to keep going. If you're paying money for a course, you want to finish the course, right? If you are paying money for a course, you want to show up every day and be at every class and study and learn every session. And so that's what I've been doing for the past few months. And now that that is over with, I'm kind of a little tired, a little slightly burned out because I didn't pace myself. But the point I'm making is that you still have to keep going. You have to watch every step. So I have to get back into uh, deep learning of cybersecurity so I can continue on with my remote career. I did Apply for my first job today. First job today. So earmark that September 26th. Sal Blue apply for his first cyber. Now I haven't have all my certifications yet, but I'm still applying to see whether I can get an entry level and then work my way through experience. So that is what I'm doing right now in the cybersecurity world. But understanding the steps that you need to take, understanding why you're taking those steps, and then making sure you pay close attention to the steps that you take each and every day, man. It's vitally important. Vitally important. Now, in the midst of all of that, right, and obviously I've learned a valuable lesson watching everything that's going on in society that money doesn't guarantee happiness. I mean, I already knew that, right? But it is what you do with your money, and whether that is a large amount or a small amount. What you do with your money, how you spend your money, will determine your level of satisfaction in life. If you are, and as I see, impulsive, like so many people these days, man, why is impulse a thing now? Right? Nobody wants to be conservative or reserved from their impulses. Everybody just wants to feel a certain way and do it. Feel a certain way and say it. And regardless of the fallout and the consequences. And I don't think that is I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's all right, and that is not how I would like to live my life. And I understand that people all around me are going to always be impulsive, right? And so I'll tell you this: if you are around impulsive people, you have to make it a point of separating yourself, right? There's nothing wrong with separating yourself from people who don't align. Like I've spent my entire life separating myself from people who didn't align with my ideas and my philosophies, because as I've been watching uh, on the news, social media, and everything else, is that who you align yourself with um, will determine how your life turns out. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it, right? There are people who may not have condoned all of the things that have happened and all of these Hollywood scandals or whatever, but they turned a deaf ear to all of the things that occurred. So when you turn your ear to the things that occurred, you're not paying attention to things that occur. You're allowing things to happen. Okay, um, you're guilty. Period. You are guilty of it. I tell people, if you know it, say it. If it's wrong, if you know it, say it. If it's wrong, that way you are not aligned with people that are doing the wrong thing. That people who are not aligned with your beliefs, right? So a lot of people compromise themselves for money, right? They compromise themselves for money, and that's only because they believe that money is scarce, and money is not scarce. I'll tell you what is scarce. What is scarce is people willing to add value to the world. That is scarce, right? So the less that people are willing to add value, the more people are going to go around and expect other people to pick up the slack for them. Expect other people to give them things that they have not earned. And that is why a lot of people run around and they think that money is scarce because money doesn't come to them the way they would like it to, the way they want. Right? You could want all things in the world that you want, but money is earned through value given. That's it. I've learned that a long time ago. Money is earned through value given, and if you give it some form of value to people, then you will reap the benefits. And yeah, it won't come overnight all the time, and sometimes it will. But either way, okay, you have to be willing to give value. You have to be willing to put in some work, right? And that's another thing. When you are around a certain level of people, your work ethic is determined by that group of people. If you're around a bunch of entitled people, then most of them probably do not feel as if they need to work hard to earn and live well. They just don't feel it, right? They feel like things should be given to them. They feel like they should be taken care of. They feel like they have earned the right, even though they haven't done anything to earn the right, right? Another thing that people do is they underestimate the amount of value that they are giving to the world. I mean, they overestimate the amount of value that they're giving to the world, right? And when you overestimate the amount of value that you're giving to the world, that you're giving to the marketplace, to people, you have a tendency to expect more for less work, right? And there's tons of people out there running around expecting so much more and doing less and less and less and less, right? And when they don't get what they want and they see other people getting what they feel that they deserve, the first thing they do is not say to themselves that they need to put in more work. No, they don't say that. The first thing they do to themselves is they start talking about how that person doesn't deserve what they're getting, right? Or that what that other person is getting needs to be distributed equally. Well, I'm telling you, if you didn't earn it, then you shouldn't be asking for it. If somebody else earned it, then let them have their just due. And you need to be the individual putting in the work to make it happen. So you just think about that for a minute, right? If you worked all week for a paycheck, right, at a job, okay, obviously adding value to somebody else's business and helping somebody else fulfill their dreams through your hard work. But nevertheless, you work at a job for the entire week, right? And you have money and you put your money in the bank. Somebody else works at the job for the entire week and they spend their paycheck when they get it. Okay? But at the end of the year, you have $100,000 accumulated, right? And that other person has zero. And so now at the end of the year, you want to spend that money on a vacation, some lavish lifestyle. And the first thing that you will get from that individual, okay, is them questioning where you got the money from, how you got it, that you didn't earn it, that you didn't put in the work for it. When the fact of the matter is that you guys were also contributing the same value, but you just had a different philosophy of how you would go about using your rewards from that. So um, I think about that frequently. Of it's not how much you make; it's what you do with what you make. And And that philosophy in itself came from me being around a totally different group of people. You know, um, I didn't get that from the people that I work around now, right? The people that I work around now, they're in a immature level of how they see money and how they see value and how they see working, right? They're just at a totally different mental level. So I always make sure, as I attempt to separate myself from this particular group, I always make sure um, that I always check in with people who are aligned with my values, so that I can separate from people who are not aligned with my values. It is the only way to go, guys. It is the only way to go. In order to move forward, you can't be held back by false beliefs and untested values, right? So that is some of the things that I think about each and every day, man. What are the values that I have, and who am I getting these values from? You got to ask yourself these questions. If you don't ask yourself these questions, then you will end up being misguided, disappointed, okay, living somebody else's life. All right, and I don't want that for anybody uh, that has happened to take the time to listen to anything that I said. The one thing that if you get anything out of the words that I speak and what I talk about, if you get anything out of all of that, one thing I want you to get out of it is live your own live your own life based on your values, not on everybody else's values, right? When you live your life based on your values, then whatever comes out of your life, okay, you're to blame. So if your life is good, you're to blame. If your life is bad, you're to blame. And the reason why I say this is because if you are responsible for it all, you can make the changes. You can correct the courses. You can make it right. Isn't that exciting? That even if you are totally and completely off the rails when it comes to your life, that if you are responsible for that, you can make it right, because having someone else in charge of your life because you decided to be influenced by your circle is a very, very frustrating place to be. I've been there. I've been around just a wrong group of people who weren't truly aligned with my values when it came to succeeding in life. They just weren't aligned with me. And whether it was influence, intimidation, whatever it was, okay, I had to make sure that I shook that. I had to figure out why I was doing what I was doing and get that out of my life. And a lot of people, that's very difficult to do a self-evaluation of yourself. Why you're doing something, okay, what brought you to specific conclusions. You have to pay attention to that in life, man. You have to pay attention. Yeah, I'm still doing my daily podcast on Spotify, so make sure you guys head on over there and check me out. But at the same token, some of the times when I come home from work, I do like to hop on here and chat it up a little bit, talk about life and what is going on as far as our reality is concerned. But the only way I'm able to do that is if I'm constantly reading, constantly learning, constantly attempting to grow and make the most out of my life. Anyway, that's it, man. I'm just about home, and I just want to hop on and give you guys a shout out to see how you guys were doing. Since I have two books out right now, and I have full all out series coming up very, very soon. My Catholic Suicide series coming up. A group of novels, 15 novels that I'll be putting out that'll be tied to one another. So it is going to be a real exciting time when it comes to the world of Sal Blue and Best Self Author. So that is what I'm doing. So guys, stay tuned. Continue to listen to me over here on YouTube and Spotify and Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, and I'll continue to put out content and let you guys know what is next, what's exciting. All right. Anyway, that's it. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and I will see you guys tonight on my daily podcast. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Just